has been almost a month since President Biden took office. His first few weeks came with executive orders mentioned earlier aimed at changing or enforcing new policies different from the previous administration. His time in office came as the Yuma sector, though, completed its section of the border wall. In a News 11 exclusive, we talk with Border Patrol on the progress made, what is still needed, and how it is balancing the border with a new administration.
It got really intense, 2018, 2019, to the height of 2019, we were seeing 450 to 600 illegal entries a day.
As migrant caravans arrived at the border 2 years ago, Border Patrol, as well as our entire community, was overwhelmed. Special Operations Supervisor Vincent Oleski has been patrolling the Yuma sector for over a decade. Through several administrations, he says the job is no different.
Whichever administration's there at the time, we're going to continue to enforce the border.
And enforcing it, they have. Daily number of illegal apprehensions have plummeted.
Anywhere from 20 to 80 a day. Which is a far cry from the 600 a day we were seeing.
Now, under a new administration, came 3 executive orders in early February. President Biden says they are aimed at rebuilding and strengthening the country's immigration system.
I'm not making new law. I'm eliminating bad policy. This is about how America is safer, stronger, more prosperous when we have a fair, orderly, and humane legal immigration system.
The president's press secretary noting the issue of family separations at the border as one of the focal points of the executive orders.
We are trying to repair the damage and the horrific actions of the prior administration by trying to do everything we can to reunite these kids with their families.
Agent Oleski on the subject of child separations within the Yuma sector.
The only case where that would happen is if the adult, the parent, is a criminal. And then while they're going through proceedings, the child's left with H&HS while the adult is going through their proceedings. But there's always a direct line.
Now, renewed hope for those trying to get into the country has resurfaced. Last week, Mexico's president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, issued a warning to would-be migrants, addressing false claims that the U.S. border is wide open following the election. López Obrador has urged migrants not to believe traffickers who say they can get legal status immediately. Biden's press secretary reiterating similar words.
It remains a dangerous trip. It remains a time. This is not the time to come to the United States. We need the time to put in place an immigration process so people can be treated humanely.
Mexico's president said that he celebrated a decision by President Biden to reverse several hardline immigration policies put in place by former President Trump, including halting construction of the U.S.-Mexico border wall. In Ciudad Juarez, the border wall appeared deserted, with machinery and material lying about.
The executive order that is requiring that the construction of the border wall cease is very important to us. It stands as a marker of hate, racism, and xenophobia in our land, which is sacred for us. We're a binational community. We're really one region that works together. And this kind of scar does not stand for who we are. And so it's a good first step. We want to see the wall ultimately come down.
All border construction halted January 27th. The border wall complete throughout most of the Yuma sector, although there are small portions where the wall was never installed.
We'll go down to where we don't have the infrastructure, and that's what's getting exploited right now. The ideal scenario would be for all 126 of our responsible miles have some kind of infrastructure in them, and when I say some kind of infrastructure, pedestrian, infrastructure that will an average person just can't walk through, complete with lighting and some kind of detection system.
One area he says is not complete is just east of the San Luis port of entry, stretching 85 miles, lighting infrastructure equipped with technology to alert agents of illegal crossings lays desolate in the dirt. While the technology waits to be installed, the contractors have been told not to continue, and the question remains if they'll ever go up.
We can only request, the resources needed. Whether we get them or not is up to, the legislature to decide whether we're going to get those resources or not. We're grateful for the resources we've got. It does make our job a little easier. And if we ever do get more, we'll be grateful for that as well.
Yeah, there's still no word on when or even if the technology will be installed. We did speak with Border Patrol this morning, and according to Agent Dulesky, the agency is now seeing anywhere from 100 to 120 illegal apprehensions a day. And this all comes as Arizona Governor Doug Ducey calls on the Biden administration for answers when it comes to how asylum seekers will be dealt with at the border. In a letter that